Hello. She's jumping on a little bit early tonight. How is everyone doing? Thanks so much for being here. I have an awesome conversation that I want to have with all y'all today regarding silence and the power of the pause. We are surrounded by noise. Literally everywhere you turn. I'm coming at you right now with noise. We're getting dings, we're getting bings, we're getting notifications. It doesn't matter what social media platform you are on right now, there is somebody talking in your face, trying to get your attention. And because of that, we often forget the power of the pause, the power of silence. And I'm going to be covering two different areas of which we need to make sure that we are staying current in this. And that is on stages and in sales. So in sales and on stages, the power of the pause, the power in silence. So many of us sitting around thinking, believing that there is awkwardness. I cannot even tell you how many individuals I know where if you're sitting in the car and it is silent for any more than 5 seconds, that individual finds something to yap about. I don't care if they are literally reading off the signs or the billboards. They will fill that silence with some noise. This is a great place to practice silence, is in the car with somebody, at dinner with somebody. It is okay to sit in silence. It is okay to be silent on stage. It is okay to be silent when you're in the middle of a sales pitch, right? This allows you and allows the audience, whoever you're talking to really feel and understand the key points that you're making. It also allows us to build trust with you, right? When you're actually sitting in a conversation where you feel so confident about the product, the service, the conversation that you are having, the silence really emphasizes that trust and also really emphasizes the connection between you and that person, right? There's some vulnerability there in the silence that you're allowing to be able to form. See, when you are sitting in silence and you're feeling awkward, that vibration, that energy is coming off of you and seeping onto them. Start to lose trust when you're yapping away. So be mindful of this. We need to exit left the conversation around how silence is awkward. It is not. Start realizing how powerful silence is. The second thing that I want to talk about how pauses can actually highlight your message. They can actually highlight your message, right? So this is one of the things that I did during my TEDx talk is I did a handful of pauses, but I also did a couple of what we call pregnant pauses. Really allowing the audience, the individual listening, to absorb what you said. See, depending on the language you use, depending on how educated the person is listening on the topic that you are talking on, their brain might be moving just a little bit slower than the pace of which you are talking. So when you allow yourself to pause and to sit in the silence, whether it's for a moment or whether it's for more of a pregnant pause, you're actually showing that you are in control. You are in control of yourself. You are in control of the message. You are in control of the product and the service that you are offering, and really allows that person to feel that know, like, and trust around you, your brand, the product, service, idea, theory that you're having. There's never been one time where somebody has said, I do not appreciate the long pauses, but there will be people that say that person talks so freaking fast. I can't understand a single word that they're saying because they just go and go and go. And it absolutely drives me nuts. I can't even keep up. I get anxiety listening to that person. I can't breathe when I'm listening to that person. I can only take so much of that person. That's another one. I can only be around that person for an hour. I can only be around that person once a month because they're just moving so fast. Their body language, their movement, their shaking, their vibration, their voice, their words, so fast. Right? When you think of a person who talks really, really fast, you think of more of a spaz. Unsure, inadequacy, uncertainty, what's going to happen next? Oh my gosh, slow down, calm down. When you're talking to somebody who is in control of their words, there's confidence there. There's stability, something that you can lean on, something that you can feel confident about. Okay. So number one is the hidden power of silence. Number two is how the pauses, how the silence can highlight your message. And why is talking about this so important? You see, these are the things that we don't know that we don't know around business, around entrepreneurship, around sales. See, so many of us who are running business, we're just literally running around with our head cut off. No idea what's going on. They got a website, they got a calendar link, they have a sales page. And there is a yapping in all the areas, not listening, not answering questions, not being helpful. See, these are some of the things that we go over in my community. I run a community called H Club. It's for women business owners to really help them thrive in their business. One of the biggest issues that I see is women leaving corporate. They're leaving. They're like, F this toxic environment. I'm out of here. They grab a website, they get a calendar link, they make a little sales page, and they're all manifesting. All the ladies out there right now, they're manifesting $10,000 months. It's going to rain upon me. They're scripting, they're journaling. And I'm telling you, I'm having conversations with these ladies and they are not making the money that they need to survive, more or less thrive. Why? Because there's information in and around a business that they just don't know. Things like talking yourself out of a sale because you just keep talking. You're not allowing that person to be able to think, ponder, ask you a question, inquire, state a concern. Because every time you take 1 second pause and there's some silence, you're deciding to fill in that silence with a bunch of words. And then that person doesn't even get one word in edgewise. So by the time you're at the end, you're so winded out. And then you're like, do you have any questions? That person's just pissed. No. And I have to think about it. Versus asking open-ended questions, which we went over the day before yesterday. Open-ended questions. I gave you all a PDF with 20 open-ended questions where you have to use the pause. See, this is the second part. So I gave you those. If you didn't get it, by the way, go back to that video. It's in the description. Click the link. It's a PDF of the 20 best open-ended questions that I have used over the past 20 plus years in my sales experience. And this is not a yes or no. This is not a quick. This is you asking a question and then sitting in the silence, allowing them to think, to contemplate, leaning on them, forcing them to communicate their feelings, their fears, their frustrations. How many times has a spouse asked you, what's the matter? And they have to ask you 16 times before you finally tell them what the matter is. That's the same thing. It takes individuals a moment to be able to trust you enough that you care enough to listen to what their actual fears are, their actual frustrations are, that they're not just another number. So that silence is what builds the trust you want to hear, and you're willing to wait as long as it takes to get the answer from them. That is how much you love them. That is how much you care for them. And that's what those questions do. So if you did not get those, make sure you go back. Make sure you download those 20 open-ended questions. All right, third one, which we've already kind of covered here, but confidence in the quiet. See, this really allows the individual, the audience that you're talking to realize that you are confident in the manner of which you are speaking. It is, you are self-aware and you are reassuring them that you are here, you know that they are listening, and you want them to comprehend everything that you are saying because you care that much about your education, your knowledge being downloaded, and you care about the audience. That's what that is doing. It's allowing them to realize, damn, she knows what she's talking about, and she cares so much about this story, idea, thought, product, service, that she is willing to take more time. She's willing to be patient to make sure that I am fully comprehending her thoughts, her concepts. So that's how much I care about my words getting you, influencing you. And that is how much I care about you. I care about you so much that I'm taking time out of my day to extra pause to make sure that you are comprehending the information that I am giving to you, because that is how much I care. So this is two-toned. This is two-sided. See, these are the things that we're constantly going over in my community, H Club. By the way, H Club stands for Her Nation Club. H Club. See, we take the time to teach our women small little golden nuggets like this that make a world of difference in how they show up for their community, how they're showing up for their audience, how they're showing up for their clients who are already paying, and their potential clients who will about to be paying. See, these little tiny nuances are making a huge difference between how they were showing up in their business and how they are now showing up in their business. Two totally different people. So this is the feedback I'm getting all the time. I don't even know how I was running a business before I joined Age Club. Now that I'm in Age Club, I know what I'm actually doing. I know how to actually show up. I know how to network. I know how to sell. I know how to show up on social now, so that people will actually understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. So they'll actually understand exactly what I do, exactly how I help. All right, number 4. Silence builds genuine engagements. Silence builds genuine engagement. So when you pause, when you take a moment to pause, you're giving others the opportunity to actually think about what you are saying. You're giving others the opportunity to understand what you are saying. Oh, that's actually pretty good right there. I feel like I need one more. Sorry, this is part of the technicality of running a business here. I know this is a long little pause here, but this is important. Let me figure this out. I'm trying to record on my phone. I'm supposed to be recording on my phone while I'm recording this, and I'm not. So, see, these are all the little things that we need to have figured out. Almost like a checklist of what we need to have figured out. Well, you just saw that in real time. So right now I am going live, just so you know, I'm going live here on my computer. And I keep pointing over here because that's where I'm at, but my camera's here. And then at the same time, simultaneously, now, I just literally set it up, I have my phone going at the same time, recording what I'm saying so I can use this again for extra content later on, right? So we are multi-purposing our content. So I'm using StreamYard right now to stream across Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Twitter. I have my phone going, which I'll then be able to cut this and turn this into short reels, short clips, shorts on YouTube, stories, where I can use this. I don't have to say all of this again, and I'll be able to reuse this over and over and over again. Are you doing this in your business? See, these are the little things. These are the little things that we're not all doing in our business. We're doing one thing. We're putting one post up. We're not turning that post into a blog. We're not turning it into an article. We're not doing a live about it. We're not doing a video about it. We're just exerting all of our energy into one post. 27 people see it, and then we wonder why we're not making any money. All that same energy, you could easily get onto a live, easily get into your stories, and reiterate exactly what that post said. But so many of us aren't doing that. Again, these are the things that we teach within my community. All right. So I was talking about how silence builds genuine engagement. So when you pause, you're giving others the opportunity to be able to think, respond meaningfully, feel heard, which deepens the relationships, right? So this is what we were just talking about. When you allow yourself to sit in the silence, not only are you making sure that everybody knows exactly what you do, exactly your ideas, exactly your thoughts, exactly your concepts, exactly your products, your services, but then at the same exact time, you're allowing those people to feel heard. Because they're thinking to myself, wow, she cares so much about this that she's giving me the time to be able to digest this mentally. Or when you ask somebody a question and you allow the silence to sit there, sometimes people will not answer. I know I went through this for a very long time in my life. Someone would ask me a question. I would not answer the question. Many times just allowing the person to answer the question for me. Simple things like, hey, do you want to go to the mall? Well, let's just go to the mall. Okay, cool. Let's just go to the mall. See, do you really actually want to hear what I have to say? Do you actually really want to know my personal thoughts, my personal ideas, my personal fears, what I actually want to do? See, there's so much fear nowadays. Going back to what I was saying before, how many times has a partner, a friend, a family member asked you, what is the matter? What is going on? And they have to ask you 16 times before you finally tell them what the issue is. See, that's trust. The person doesn't trust that you actually care to hear their thoughts, their feelings, their fears, their frustrations, their ideas, their theories. So they know that if you inquire, if they sit silent for long enough, you'll just keep rambling on. This is happening in audiences. This is happening on sales calls. And this is why we are losing the sales. Your lack of confidence shows right through. Your lack of empathy shows right through. And they can clearly see that you actually really technically don't care. So if you're trying to deepen the relationship, pause, allow space. Lastly, practicing silence for mastery. Like any skill, strategic silence takes practice. Try it during pitches, networking, or even casual conversations to see the transformation in how people respond. So we want to practice. This isn't something where you're going to watch this little video here and then all of a sudden you become the master of pauses and silence. This is something that on a daily basis you need to learn to work on. When you're on a networking call, ask a question and then sit in the silence and allow that person the space to answer the question. Don't feel as if they take 2 seconds of silence and then you skirt into it and say, well, you don't really have to answer that if you actually don't want to answer it. Girl, calm down. What are you fearful of? Ask, what are you fearful of? They're going to sit for a second. They're pondering. Does she actually want to hear my real fear? Does she actually give a crap about my real fear? Is she going to make fun of me? Can I trust this woman? The longer the silence is, the more trust they'll have for you. The silence is what builds the trust. Not you overshadowing it, being overly empathetic and saying, oh, is that uncomfortable? You don't have to answer that if you don't want to. I totally get it if you don't want to answer it. I mean, that does sound like it may be crossing a boundary. If you don't want to answer it, don't worry about answering it. I could ask another question. She was just about to answer in 5 more seconds. She was making sure that you actually wanted to hear her answer. Let her lean on you. Let your client, let your audience lean on you and trust that you are holding space for their concerns, their thoughts, their frustrations, their fears. And this is something that you have to continuously work on, continuously practice. You want to practice this during your pitches. You want to practice this during your networking. You want to practice this during your casual conversations. One of the things that I do while I'm talking just to people in life is I will ask a question and then in my head, I will tell myself, do not say anything. Or if they're on some sort of a tangent and I want to jump in and be like, yeah, but, oh, did you know? Oh, I have an answer. See, we're cutting people off at the knees. We're wanting to fill all the space with all of our words. Calm down. Stay silent. Figure out what you want to say before you say the thing. Or somebody asks you a question, you don't have to fly right out the gate in 0.2 seconds. Think about what you're going to say. Be strategic about your words. Show up powerfully. See, these are the tips. These are the things, the strategies that are gone over in my community, H Club. See, how are you showing up for your business, for your audience, on stages, on sales, in networking calls? Are you yapping so much that the person listening is just like, oh my God, shut up. Calm down. See, these are the things that we're not necessarily thinking of. And these are the little itty bitty, tiny little things that are going to make a huge difference between making a sale and not making a sale. Getting a client, not getting a client. Getting someone to know, like, and trust you, and getting someone to not know, like, and trust you. So 2 things. Number 1, if you did not watch the video from 2 days ago where I talked about the 20 open-ended questions that convert, I want you to go back to that video. You'll see the heading, and I want you to go to the link and I want you to download that PDF. It's free. They're my 20, the ones that I have used over the past 20 plus years of sales that work. And on top of that, I want you to practice the pause while you are using those open-ended questions. 1. Number 2, there is a link in this video below. 4-H Club, my community. We are on sale right now, limited time. My community right now is $500 a year. Right now, the sale is $300 for the year. It's less than $30 a month. I think it's less than $27 a month. I don't know the math in my head. This is the type of community that needs to be around you while you are building your business. We don't want you having a business where you're barely surviving. We want you having a business where you are actually thriving. And how do you do that? Get in amongst other business owners that are doing the same thing. You don't have to do it all by yourself anymore. This doesn't have to be a one-woman show, solopreneur, all by myself, little boutique. That's not a thing anymore. You need to be in a community with women who are striving for greatness, like-minded individuals that want more for themselves. We want goodness for you just as much as you want goodness for you. A community to lean on, a community to learn from. We do masterminds where we actually go over specifically your business multiple times a year. You get access to all the minds in the room. We do networking calls. We go over sales calls. Or we do sales workshops, which would include sales calls, sales workshops, to teach you how to close, to teach you how to pause, to give you means, better ways of being able to get the clients that you know you can help. But some of y'all are talking yourself out. Some of you are so nervous and so scared that you're not even offering what you can offer. You're literally just like giving value, and then you're like, okay, have a nice day. And you forget to say, hey, wait a minute. If you want more information on this, if you need help with this, you should purchase this. You should buy this. You should join this. See, I know that when you join H Club, not if, when you decide to join H Club, it is going to be a world of difference within the first month. It is going to be a world of difference within that first year. And you're going to look back and you're going to say, damn, I've been trying to do this by myself for 3 years. 5 years, 7 years. I have moved more in the past 6 months with H Club than I did through all of the last 4 years I've been in business. I am certain of that. Because between myself and the women within the group, there is so much brilliance that can give you these little golden nuggets that you didn't know that you didn't know. There's no way to even Google this because you don't even know to know. Things where you're like, what? I had no idea. You see, this is how people are getting ahead. Because they're realizing that they don't have to do it by themselves anymore. They're realizing they can do this with a group. There are women out here who are ready and willing to help each other. They're not sitting in this cattiness anymore. We're growing out of that. And we're now learning that we're stronger together. And that's what Age Club is all about. So go ahead and download the PDF from yesterday or the day before yesterday's video, and then drop down into the description here. Check out Age Club. It is on sale right now. There is no better time to join. The price that it's at right now, $300 for the year. Nothing, basically. Nothing. That's like a trip to Starbucks at this point. $30 for real. To get everything you need to run your business. All right, ladies. Okay, so it was great talking to you. Appreciate it. And see you on the other side.